there, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you are doing well. And so look at here, I've had a couple of uploads already today. So if you haven't had an opportunity to take a look at those after this one, go ahead and take a peruse and definitely leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Also too, just as a reminder, as you got to see my virtual tour, my online shops, Cyber Monday sale ends today, December 2nd, if you're watching it on today's upload at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. So if you haven't had an opportunity to take a look out there and, go and pick yourself up some uplifting joy, please do so. And I hope you enjoy your virtual visit there. So yeah, we have been dipping and dabbing a little bit in reality TV and, reality TV representatives, we'll say that. Not really so much on the reality TV front, but just those that, hang out in that world. And so now we're going to crisscross over to Nick Cannon, because I found this to be an interesting conversation and sharing. This actually popped up, I think about it, maybe the day or day after, something like that, around Thanksgiving. And so when I came across this sharing, I thought, well, hey, let's go ahead and get into this one. So it appears that Nick Cannon is opening up a little bit about his mental health journey and how he has basically been able to receive his diagnosis and what he's looking at, doing to continue into a therapeutic movement forward in addressing his journey. Now, I do remember that he did a podcast not too long ago where I believe it went viral or semi-viral at least, and where he was, basically being challenged with the conversation about all of the many homes that he was building, so to speak, with, all these many children that he has had since his time away from Mariah Carey, and how does that actually work, and what does that mean for him as a person, in dealing with the reasons why he was building so many families that, and most people would say, were considered broken families, one in which he's not able to be at the home and in the house and giving his full attention or as much of his attention to one child for the household because he has so many of them. So it was quite an interesting conversation, to say the least. And if you yourself got a chance to see that podcast in that interview, I would love to know your thoughts about it. So definitely leave them respectfully in the comment section below so we can kind of talk about that. I found it to be really revealing, and in some of the things that he was challenged with in the way of thinking of why he proceeded, and talked a lot about low vibrational activity between himself and maybe even individuals he chooses to intertwine with, and how that looks and what that looks like. And I remember hearing some of his responses off the cuff and thinking, she's kind of really proving, or you are actually proving her point in some of the things that you're saying. So maybe that could have been the precipice of him actually getting some check out in regards to what could be going on with him mentally and emotionally, and how to address those things, and or if this was something that was part of, I believe, maybe a journey he was already on and discovery. So definitely I thought it was an interesting conversation and an interesting share that he gave. So let's go ahead and get into that. And it looks like the sharing is coming from people.com, and it says that Nick Cannon acknowledges that, he says, I need help, as he reveals his narcissistic personality disorder diagnosis, and this was exclusively shared with people. So he further says, I just embrace mental health and therapy in such a strong way, he tells people exclusively. Now, Nick Cannon is getting candid about his mental health journey. Earlier this month, the Masked Singer host 44 shared he had been diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. For the star, being open about his struggles is a part of how he manages his day to day. I still don't understand it all the way, but I kind of always wanted to get tested for it. I did a bunch of tests, Cannon told people exclusively on Wednesday, November 27, while serving meals at the Los Angeles Mission's Thanksgiving celebration. I've been diagnosed with ADHD. Even as a kid, it was dyslexia, but just knowing that I'm just a neurodivergent individual, I kind of always knew, he adds. Now, Cannon says he's open, or he's being accepting of his recent diagnosis and using it as a tool to better himself. I feel like there's so many labels out there, but it's like to be able to embrace it and say, look, I'm healing. I need help. Show me. I just embrace mental health and therapy in such a strong way, he says. To be able to say I'm an example for others, but also be healing during the self-process works too. Now, Cannon first opened up about his diagnosis in a November 8 episode of his Counsel Culture podcast after confirming to Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, a doctor of psychology, that he had been clinically diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. Now, Cannon explained he identifies with nearly all markers for the disorder. I've taken all the power away from the term narcissism because I've researched it and I understand it, said Cannon on the episode. Call me whatever you want. Now, if I didn't know what it was, then I have an issue with it. Now, Cannon, who welcomed 12 children since 2011, also opened up to people about how he spends time with all of his kids during the holidays. It's very complicated. I'm a busy man on Thanksgiving, he says, of visiting multiple homes on the holiday. I'm going to be full by the end of the day, but everybody specializes in certain things. You know what I mean? Some people got good sweet potato pie. Some people got amazing fried turkey. So I know every house that needs to have the things that I really like. The star also will be all over in December. The star will also be all over in December and hopes to spend time with his children in the snow. Everywhere from Aspen to Santa's Village, all of those things, he says, all the kids want to go to the snow. So a little bit of East Coast, a little bit of Aspen, a little bit of Big Bear. So it looks like he's taking it definitely in stride. I'd love to know your thoughts. So definitely leave them respectfully in the comment section. Let's have a conversation about it. Are you kind of shocked or surprised, or do you think that this sounds along the lines of maybe what you were thinking? Just in, a lot of the headlines of all of the, baby making he was doing. I mean, it called into a question for a lot of people, really what was the behind the scenes thought process behind doing that. But he's definitely has always seemed to kept a real positive outlook on, that. And of course it is his situation. And so, he's got to be responsible for that. And I think that he clearly understands that, of course. I do recall a couple of moments here and there where there was always conversation brought about whether or not Mariah Carey was, again, an option for him. And it doesn't appear that that's going to be a situation that will ever come into fruition. Although I kind of like them together. And I'm so sorry that didn't work out. Maybe because of what is now, being revealed for Nick. Now he's getting a greater understanding, maybe why it didn't work out, at least on his perspective. In that situation, because it kind of seems to me that if he had an opportunity, had a chance, he would want to go back and reconnect in that way. But I think that probably is one of those things where the ship is sailed. So with that, definitely, I think it's quite interesting and very maybe brave in this day and age to be able to speak more about mental health struggles and journeys individually, for individuals to actually put out their experiences with it, and pretty much putting it out there in a sense that it doesn't matter what people may say or think about it, but just maybe hopefully in sharing his experience that it can help somebody else. There's a lot of conversation and chatter surrounding narcissism and narcissistic tendencies and traits, and unfortunately we've seen a lot of those things play out in a lot of situations over the last few years. And so to hear that this is something that he is now being clinically diagnosed and really dealing with is quite interesting. But I am happy for him to be able to get a full understanding of what his mental health looks like in the landscape of that. Because one thing that is very disheartening for individuals who deal and struggle with mental health situations and challenges with that is trying to get the right diagnosis, getting the right situation so you can treat it in the right way. And that can be quite a challenge here in the United States for sure, and just in individuals' experiences. So for him to be able to get to this point and be able to kind of face it head on and deal with it and work through a healing process of journey, I think that's a great thing. And sharing that, I think, is also a great thing, taking the responsibility of himself and in himself to go and get the help that he needs and at least get the actual diagnosis set up for him so he can continue to know exactly what help is appropriate for him, and that will help him in the future. So definitely when he says he's a busy man, I would say it's probably busy all throughout the year, not just during the holiday times, right? Because people got birthdays, anniversaries, other events, and wait till these kids get much older. Some of them are, but you talk about sporting events and activities with school and all those types of things, and then beyond. I mean, he's going to be busy for the rest of his existence. That is for sure. But yeah, I would love to know your thoughts. So definitely leave them down again below in the comment section. And yeah, let's have a talk about it. Definitely, too, if you are new here and you haven't had a chance to hit the subscribe button, go ahead and do so. And go ahead and be part of the family, part of the community. I would so love to have you. And definitely give the video a like so we can get it to share around and get much conversation about this story. And yeah, like I said, the more the merrier. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure you have your all notification bells on. I will be dropping another video this evening as well. So I definitely am going to want to know your thoughts. And just like the ones previous and this one here, definitely share them down below in the comment section of each videos. And don't forget about my Cyber Monday, which is actually a Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale for the 15% off promo code and direct link. All that stuff is in the description area down below. So definitely make sure you take a look and get yourself some uplifting joy. And also too, for any additional, what is it? Money off. I got a referral link for Rakuten down there as well if you want to peruse and get yourself some stuff out there. So definitely, so glad that you were here. Appreciate you taking the time. And definitely, I will be seeing you again for the next video. So until then, I bid you adieu. You take care, be blessed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.